Agents. This is Hannibal, and today, now that everyone knows about the upcoming DLC, The Battle for Brooklyn, is coming, and we've all been advised of what's to come, I want to go through a thought experiment in regards to a certain aspect of the state of the game in the Division 2. That aspect concerns the introduction of flex gear, something Massive could bring to the game, especially with the now known details of what's coming. So let's do it. Now, hear me out. If you've ever farmed for just one more perfect roll in the Division 2, you know the pain. RNGesus, min-maxing, and locked talents can be brutal, even now, years after launch. But what if Massive introduced a mechanic into the game that would change things up a bit? I'm talking about flex gear. And as a reference, I'm going to point at the chill out mask. So, what if you had gear that worked with you and not against you? Imagine if you could rework two attributes, or one attribute and one talent, on a piece of gear or weapon. That's the core of flex gear. It's not build breaking, it's build enhancing. So here's the concept. Take the existing recalibration system and add a second editable slot. Now remember, resources are tight and the cost is expensive. Let's say you're looking for a Matador, and it comes with weapon damage, its default, crit damage, and skill haste, but you want one where you can change the weapon damage to armor and have both crit hit chance and crit hit damage on it. Well, as the system is set up now, you can only change one thing and then have to grind for the perfect one to drop so that you can change it to armor and have both crit chance and crit damage. And it's not very efficient, is it? What if you're looking for a Fenris chest plate with both crits and obliterate, and you either craft one or loot one and it has weapon damage, again, the default, max crit damage, skill damage, and unbreakable. Let's say you already have a Fenris chest plate with unbreakable. And let's assume you've already maxed out your library with crit damage for the chest plates, and the unbreakable talent is already locked in your talent pool. So you either sell this chest plate or you deconstruct it. And deconstructing has diminished returns in materials. So you craft again and again until you either get the piece that you want or you run out of materials, whichever comes first. But what if you could change the talent and the attribute? Well, the Chill Out Mask proves this is possible. And this is where it comes into play, as a best proof of concept for a feature like this. Originally introduced during the Silent Night event, the Chill Out Mask has a unique feature. It allows for 2 mod slots instead of just one. A Gillibrand piece, you can see here that it has 2 mod slots. I've used one of these with 2 protection from elite mods. I've used one where I added an extra crit mod. Even tested some bleed resistance mods while playing around with the backfire. Now, these slots are unusual for a gear piece, but they don't break the balance. In fact, it adds flexibility. Sure, it still requires players to find it and optimize it, so it respects grind and build identity, but it opens the door to flexibility within the game and the build platform. The Chill Out Mask quietly introduced a new class of gear, static rarity with dynamic customization. And that's basically flex gear in a nutshell. Well, how could it work? Okay, let's keep it grounded. This isn't about power creep. This is about personal agency. Massive could introduce some basic rules for flex gear. Named gear and exotics already in the game are static, fixed. You can re-roll the bottom attribute on some of the exotics, sure. So those mechanics stay. The idea I'm floating around here is for Massive to introduce a feature akin to the classified gear from the Division 2. This new gear could drop as, quote, classified themed pieces or sets of gear. It allows for either recalibrating 2 attribute slots, either the main and 1 sub, or 2 subs, or it could allow for the change of 1 talent and 1 attribute, either the main or the sub. It will still require the use of the recalibration library, and there could even be a minor limit for the change. Once either a talent or an attribute is changed, you can only re-roll one. So, for example, you could change a skill haste to a crit and the talent from unbreakable to obliterate. Once the talent changes to obliterate, for example, the talent is permanently locked. You can either come back later and re-roll the crit at any time, whenever you need to readjust. This makes Flex Gear grind-worthy without invalidating the current system. It doesn't replace gear diversity. What about balancing Flex Gear? Well, another option Massive could toy with is Rarity gated. Flex items only drop from legendary mission rewards or limited special caches or seasonal content. There's event content potential here too, just like in the Division 1 when classified gear drops and rotates. This could be limited to the same thing. Even the Loot Goblin could play a role in this. Another option could be crafting, if certain requirements are met. Perhaps a locked crafting component, which requires a new crafting material, such as a special tactical weave or a dark zone assessment from killing named NPCs at landmarks. Maybe they have to be specific landmark level named NPCs, such as level 3 or level 4. Just like getting the blueprints from control point level 3s and control point level 4s. There's even PvP consideration. Flex Gear effects could be equalized in conflict and could be normalized in the dark zone, and it would still respect the grind and doesn't create power spikes. It just gives players control, especially as the player base matures. In all honesty, the endgame deserves some kind of evolution here. The game's life cycle is stable. Many players are here for the long haul. Flex Gear gives those players a reason to come back, even after crafting libraries are full. It also makes PvE more creative and PvP more competitive without adding a new stat tier. And for new or returning players, Flex Gear becomes a goal, not a shortcut. The Division 2 is 6 years old now, going on 7. New DLC is coming, more seasons are coming. From a technical standpoint, from a developer standpoint, from a coding standpoint, this idea is not out of the reach for Massive to implement. The Chill Out Mask has shown us that flexibility doesn't have to break the game, it can just enhance it. So, Massive, if you're listening, give us Flex Gear. Let us rework one extra thing. Let us finish the build we've spent years working up. And if you agree, agents, drop a comment, like the video, share this with your clanmates. This could be a small change that makes a big difference. X, formerly known as Twitter, and Discord details are in the channel description. If you see any one of us at the base of operations or at Haven, hit us up with a rock, paper, scissors match as a way to say hello. And as always, thank you for watching. Till the next time, this is Hannibal, signing off.